quick one. Today I thought I'd do a very special episode of Meet the Co-Founders. You guys haven't met my amazing co-founders yet. This is Sydney and Andrew. It is almost 12:30 in the morning, 12 a.m. And so perfect time to kind of do some of these questions and have you meet the team. All right, so to kick things off, first question is, what has been your favorite day or moment from YC?
One of our earlier office hours shared a day when we were strategizing on our book-based launch strategy, and they were like, guys, why don't you just ship it to the batch? And then we basically had 3 or 4 days to make a bunch of stuff work.
My favorite moment is at the end of those 4 days.
Okay.
We were working nonstop. We did not leave the apartment. We slept, but we barely slept. We were like not eating regularly.
No.
We woke up in the morning. We worked nonstop, usually in the apartment, and then we went to bed and we repeated. So like those 4 days felt like 2 weeks. And we were stressed too because we weren't sure if it was all going to come together, right? Because like we added like the Slack bot and like we hadn't deployed anything. Nothing had been deployed onto Modal, right? We had to deploy everything onto Modal, so we're like super stressed. And then Andrew flies in on Sunday. Like we're pushing really hard, and the big reveal was going to be Monday morning. And I remember I was like walking back from the WeWork, and it was like very late at night, and we were walking through the streets of San Francisco, and like I realized like we got this. Like it all was going to come together for the big demo on Monday.
What's been the weirdest habit that you've learned about one another as a result of living together?
I have a good one.
Good.
This is like the weirdest habit it's like shared among us at this point. It's like, this is weird, but like we're all equally weird.
Okay.
I feel like we're all like usually working in different parts of the apartment, and sporadically somebody will yell out, "Oh shoot!" or like, "Oh!" like out loud. And like Andrew will do it in his room, and I'll do it on my computer, and Lena will sometimes do it, but it's mostly Andrew.
I didn't know that I have like a late night cookie habit. Like you buy the pull apart cookies,
The break and make.
the break and bake, and you make them like I don't know.
It's about time.
It's about time. It's a pretty good life hack.
Maybe had noticed this before, but I think I like really noticed it now because we just spent so much more time together. Andrew, you like breathe in while you're working.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't notice that at all. But I've been told that many times
By other people.
I think I might do that too.
So you guys
But not
have a
as
couple
loud.
copies of that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be self-conscious about it for like 5 minutes after this. I'm thinking about it again.
What was your biggest fear going into YC?
Oh, yeah. I mean, my biggest fear was we weren't going to get traction. Like we would go through YC, we would give up 7% of the company, and at the end, we would still not be in a good place, which did not happen. Like, we're in a really good place.
We're in a great
Like, it feels great to be where we're at. Like, I mean, it's only been 2 months, and I feel like everything has changed.
Yeah, I would say the same thing, but less so about traction and more about conviction.
What do we have the most conviction on?
I think for me, I have a lot more conviction on just like following our own intuition of what is like cool and fun. I don't know, like if you remember back in December when we met with Jared and Nate and we were showing them these like shitty little AI stories.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was something there that was very exciting to us and we hadn't like fully consolidated and figured out like how it made sense as a startup for us to do. But when I think now about like the things we're planning for the future, like I remember thinking those things back then too. It just kind of takes time for things to kind of fall into place and work themselves out.
The other part is having conviction around working on art technology.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I agree with all of that. I think the thing I have high conviction around is come for the tool, stay for the network.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what I want to build.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go all in on that. Like I want to build something where like we have people creating and other people consuming, and we have the platform for both of those. Like I just want to go all in on that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that or bust.
Mm-hmm.
I have high conviction on that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would have had high conviction on that without going through YC. And the biggest thing is that there were just so many very successful companies that had a similar playbook that we met the founders of during YC,
Right.
including Pinterest,
Yeah.
right? Instacart, a few more.
A few more.
The most difficult part, I think, of YC was that we just worked nonstop.
Yeah.
Like we did work nonstop. I mean, we took like small breaks on the weekends, but we were basically not working nonstop for the entire part of YC. By the way, for those of you who don't know, Andrew usually goes to bed at what?
10?
9 to 10 p.m.
Try like
What?
8 p.m. Yeah. And our average bedtime during YC was like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Like probably 1 a.m.
Yeah.
That's pretty heroic. Like let's be honest, like, that's a big
I
sacrifice.
thought the year was stronger.
I feel like for so much of our life, like definitely with Edge, right? And even before that with Incube, at least for me, like I spend a bunch of time like helping other people out and like mentoring other people. Like even with Edge, like we spent a lot of time. I mean, all the three of us spent a lot of time doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like the first time in my life where like I just feel like we had just like really high quality mentors who like really cared about us and really helped us out. And it was just like so nice to be on the other side of that equation with the mentors. And not only the mentors, also just like the whole community. Like I didn't have to worry about anything. We just showed up and everything was taken care of. Right? Everything was orchestrated for us.
Yeah.
It was just nice to be on the other side of that.
You could just participate in it, which was such a gift, right?
Yeah.
We could just like focus on ourselves and focus on like what we needed to do and execute instead of like orchestrating the whole community and experience for other people. Last question. So we all weren't sure that we wanted to do YC once we were accepted.
Mm-hmm.
What if you could go back in time and talk to that earlier version of you? What would you say to them?
That's a good question. I would say Sydney.
Look at the camera.
This camera. Sydney. This is an absolutely a no-brainer. Join YC, it'll be the best. It'll be one of the best decisions of your life. That's what I'd say.
Would Sydney be convinced by that?
Probably. The future self comes and says that.
Yeah, the future.
Yeah, I mean, I think even a fraction of what we like from a purely transactional perspective, is it worth it? Not just like our time, because our time is valuable, but like from the equity perspective, like even a fraction of the 2 months we've had, the answer is still like hands down yes. Like every office hour session, every Monday night group event, whether it's like a panel or a former founder who's gone on to lead successful companies. Just every one of those experiences it has felt like, an entire year of knowledge of like a year of growth sort of condensed into like this super short period.
For sure.
I mean, just to say, like, I do feel like it's been one of the better decisions of my life to do YC. Like I don't think that's like an exaggeration to say that. I mean, I just feel like I've had like even just from an experience perspective of like living a rich life, like we've just experienced so much memorable stuff in like 2.5 months that like those memories will have forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then from a company perspective, I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's just such a high leverage point where like you are like figuring out the direction of the ship and like where you pointed like just makes such a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like we're pointing the ship in such an exciting direction. I'm like so excited to work on this. I feel like so lucky that we get to be working on this stuff. And like we get to build real tech and like go directly to the end user, and like we love what we're building. Like we love like looking at these videos, and like all of that was figured out during YC. Like
well, this was fun.
yes.
Yeah, thanks guys. These are my amazing co-founders. Thanks for
Hey
listening.
guys.
If you want to see more of them, let me know in the comments.